Okay, so this is January 19th. It's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. This is going to be my second annual Antie Awards winners. Why didn't I see this glare a minute ago? I don't know. My glasses do this. I'm going to probably do this over time. Am I getting fuzzy? The light may change because I may take hours to do this. I may end up doing this in the next 15 minutes. I have all my categories. I'm just going to read off the winners. I don't think there's going to be much explanation. I'm going to do the ones that only have one winner first. The categories that I had more than 7 nominees, I intend to do those gold, silver, bronze. I don't think there are that many of them this time, though, so I'm going to leave those for last. But I'm going to do the ones that only have one winner first. But first things first. Now, I always talk about my big 3 directors, you know. And my big 3 directors are Francis Ford Coppola, Woody Allen, and David Lynch. And a few days ago, the absolutely terrible news that David Lynch died came, and I was shocked. I was concerned about people due to the wildfires. I knew he had been evacuated, and I knew he had emphysema. I was worried about his little woodshop stuff that he makes, and I don't know why. I thought he had been taken away to somewhere. I assumed he had been able to get to somewhere where the air was clear or something. And I remember saying to myself, they should take him to Twin Peaks, you know, because I don't know the jet stream. I don't know. Their Santa Ana winds and stuff is all weird, but the assumption would be that smoke would come this way, you know, go east with the wind under normal circumstances. So north, I just thought, oh, we should go like where. I don't even think Twin Peaks is a real place, but the place where they filmed Twin Peaks. What was it? Squallam? I don't know how to say it. So that occurred to me, but I didn't think anything really bad was going to happen. You know, I mean, to him. I didn't think this. It didn't occur to me. You know, I mean, I'm worried about all of them because they're older guys. He was the young one, like I said, and it was another one of those things where I look at my phone and I get like Google alerts, not Google alerts. I get email alerts from Deadline, the newsletter or whatever, and it said a David Lynch tribute or something. That's the first thing I saw because I had been in this lousy movie, really crap movie, one of the movies for this year, a 2025 movie, and I come out and I see that and I'm like, well, no, because his birthday's in a few days. It's supposed to be his birthday tomorrow, and I'm like, that's what it is. Then I'm like, let me check, and I go to Twitter and I'm like, no, this isn't happening, and I started flipping out like, it can't be. I saw, I want to say Dune. When everyone's like, how did you come to know of David Lynch? I want to say Dune. I loved Dune growing up. I would have seen it because of Sting probably, back in the day, because I was very much an MTV kid. But I watched it all the time. I loved it. I know he didn't end up liking it. But I had seen The Elephant Man a bunch of times. And I'm pretty sure it was before that. Because, like I said, these movies that came on HBO when we were younger, they just played them like every other day. So I watched The Elephant Man a bunch of times. And, so without knowing David Lynch as David Lynch, I had loved, I'd been very much a fan of his movies before I even heard of Twin Peaks. I think I didn't watch Twin Peaks when it originally ran. I didn't like horror movies, and I remember thinking of that as a horror TV show because I used to see the commercials. And I remember hearing other people talk about it. This was when I was in high school. So it would have been a perfect thing to really watch because I'm from, when I did end up watching Twin Peaks, I'm like, oh yeah, that's kind of what, it was like where I live. But, I watched it on Bravo, like 1999, 2000, somewhere in there. that's when I started watching it, and I totally loved it. That ensemble is probably the greatest ensemble of all time. But the heart of it, the horror of it, there's something so honest about how the world really is. And then with The Return, I swear to God, I was like, how is David Lynch the only person? The Return now, when was this, 2017? I was like, how is David Lynch, you know, for all intents and purposes, this rich guy who's an artist and should be sheltered from the real, how is he the only one who sees America for what it is at this point in time? But yeah, I mean, Mulholland Drive, again, probably my favorite of his movies. Well, no, Dune is, even though he doesn't like it. But, you know, love Mulholland Drive. Love The Straight Story. I don't like Wild at Heart. I can't deal, there's too much ugly in it. Too much ugly in that one. Especially the puke on the carpet. I can't deal with the puke on the, I don't know what it is. It just makes me want to just, I don't know, run away from home. But it's funny because I often thought of him. And I was thinking, a couple weeks ago, I was like, I wonder if he saw Wicked. Because obviously the Wizard of Oz references all the time. And I, you know, during COVID, he was doing his weather reports. And I guess he had done them before. But that really was something every day. And I've been a Durante my whole life. And I was waiting to see them put a post about his death. And it was Nick who ended up doing it. And Nick said, no more lucky numbers. And it just struck me because I almost forgot about the numbers. And here's somebody I've been a fan of since forever. And I knew they were a fan. They had done that concert video thing with him. But to think Nick was watching those every day to see what the number was. It was part of it became part of the weather report. Because he would pick a number. And you would have to try to guess it. I never got it right. This means I'm not clairvoyant at all. But, he engaged with us. He became part of our lives. We existed, you know, in his world. And his world that he created ended up meaning so much to me in my own life. No I banda. I mean, I said, wait a minute. That is what this world is, isn't it? It is all a tape. And I really believe that. Most of the time since then. So, and everything with the Black Lodge and all this stuff. It wasn't just influence. These were things I was already interested in. Like I said, mythology, things like this. Aliens. I mean, I watch Ancient Aliens all the time. Just everything, you know, and the way the man was, the way he was in his interviews, the way he was on behind the scenes, you know, that little clip of him being so mad when he's like in traffic or whatever. And then the other one I saw again the other day where he's oh no, I lost my train of thought. Where he's somebody asked him about the scene being long and he flips out. I mean, he was just such a real, true. It was so funny because I said something about him being pure and gold, and then I think Nicolas Cage. I went and read Nicolas Cage's comments later, and he said something about him being gold. You know, because there's a purity. There's a purity about this man, and pure isn't what people. Pure isn't puritanical. Pure is pure, you know, with the iniquity burnt away, you know, and I didn't think he was done, you know, and it's so sad. I haven't watched anything. I haven't watched Twin Peaks. I haven't watched Mulholland Drive. I don't think I can. I don't think I can. He was like, I'm not an artist. I wish I could be. I wish I could be a creative. I'm not a creative. But his influence on me is massive. Just like I said, I'm watching Wicked for the like 10th time, and I'm like, I wonder if David Lynch saw. Just the fact that I was thinking that like he's some friend of mine, because he was right there for so long on the weather reports, and we saw him every day, and you know, It's just, I should probably do a whole thing. Maybe I'll talk here and there in the future, but part of me doesn't even want to do this anymore because it's so stupid. And I said to myself, I can't believe I'm sitting there and talking about current movies like they're something. You know, and these Antie Awards I'm giving out right now, none of these are as good as David Lynch. There's one or two there that are good. They're pretty damn good, but there's this is what's gone. This is why older people, and I consider myself old, this is why we complain all the time. That's why our ass is always chapped. Because we just remember our time. Like the people we love, like I said, my big three, they still had a hard time getting financing. He had a project he took to Netflix and they passed. Meanwhile, what about that piece of shit movie I saw that day? What about the one I was watching? I sat there. I didn't know David Lynch passed away. I literally sat there and I was looking at it and I'm like, somebody just threw money at these people because they're famous or popular. They were, during COVID, it seemed like they were throwing money at just any random person who they thought might be able to make a movie or write a script. This was terrible. It's absolutely terrible. But obviously they had enough money to, but the acting was bad. It had to be bad on the page. None of it was remotely realistic. It was just a stupid ass movie made by people who were popular for a minute or won some other awards or were, you know, not even the it girl, but somebody who, you know, and this is what we have now. You know, somebody has a success and then these studios throw money at them because they fit the suit or they're, you know, I don't want to say the words, but you know what I mean? They're the kind of person that the studio feels like they feel proud to promote a person of this type, or oh, we're supporting this kind of person, you know what I mean? And it's like, well, what about the artist? You know, like I said, Francis Ford Coppola had to put in all his own money, you know what I mean? It's just, there's something wrong with the world, and maybe that's why David Lynch had to go. Because his purity and his creativity, maybe there's no place for it anymore. I don't know. But it was devastating. Reading Kyle MacLachlan's and Naomi Watson's, just everybody's heart was broken. Now they know that man, you know. I don't know him, but my heart was broken, like literally broken. Like I said, I can't watch anything. I can watch interviews and stuff, and that's what I've been doing, watching little clips here and there. But I haven't dared to put on something I mean, my Twin Peaks box set's right there. It's like 5 feet away from me. I'm putting it in the machine. I can't do that. It's all in here anyway. But he was more than just a filmmaker. He was more than just a creative guy. He was more than just somebody who put dreams to film. Like I said, something short of a guru. You know, because all the people that I am a fan of, I listen to them talk. I listen to them talk about what they think about the world and stuff like that. But in this case, it was so profound, so I'm gonna say examined. So he really got into it, you know, the nature of evil. And I just remember thinking that night, because everybody was sad, and everybody, just to read all the tweets, NASA freaking tweeted, I was like, the Garmonbozia is plentiful this evening, because we were all sad and we were all crying. We were suffering. I don't even, it's like a weird world to be in, because now it's like, what am I watching, movies? Really, am I? Or am I watching products? You know? But, I thought about it, because his kids when they did the quote, "Don't keep your eye on the donut, not the hole." And then I thought of William Friedkin, passed away last out of the big directors, and he said something. He didn't give a rolling hole. What was it? It was funny quote about a rolling donut hole or something. It was, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, I probably temperament wise, I'm probably a little bit more like Friedkin, but something about donuts. I love donuts. But I couldn't take it. I couldn't believe he was gone. And it's just like, yeah, this is the world we're in. Just because this world is getting shittier and shittier by the day. It's not even Lynchian. It's not Lynchian in that kind of spooky, what the fuck is this kind of way. It's all dark. And it's getting darker. And like I said, when I was talking about the fires going to Brent, he was not who I was thinking. I was thinking of an entirely different director. And I was like, I need everybody to check in on social media somewhere, because... But I did not think that was going to happen to Mr. Lynch. And I knew he'd been evacuated. I knew he had emphysema. I knew there was smoke everywhere. I just figured because they said that they evacuated him, it was going to be okay. But I guess it went fast, and sometimes that happens. Sometimes that happens where it's just, you can't catch it. That happened with my mom. That happens where just, and I think maybe that happens with the good people. Where they're just here one minute, gone the next. They're supposed to do a meditation. I'm supposed to be at work. I don't even know what Pacific Standard Time is. Is that still 3 hours or just different? Is it 2 hours? I get confused. But, yeah. I should probably do my Antie Awards now, but I had to say something and then I went on forever. Because he's just so... It was so funny because I was getting all these things, like the sleeper must awaken. I was pulling, like, I play with the, oracle cards and stuff. I was getting all these, the sleeper must awaken things. Yeah, so, alright, I'm going to do my awards. I'm going to start with the ones, like I said, that don't have, that only have one winner. But let me get to that right now. Okay, so I'm going to do Best Direction, of all things. And for the 2024 movies, I feel like the movie that had the best direction was Wicked. I'll explain. The Challengers was great, and it could almost be Challengers, but degree of difficulty with Wicked is why I'm picking John M. Chu, because that's something that it's just massive. It's massive. But Luca Guadagnino, that's how you say it, it's very close. Very close, because when I saw Challenges, I said, that's a perfect film. So, yeah. So, my, what's after that? Okay, I'm going to do some of my acting categories. Featured actor. Featured actor, I explained, that's somebody who isn't supporting, but they're really in there. I could have had more than one. I didn't have 7 nominees, so there's one choice. And that is Jamie Campbell. I thought his name was Jamie Campbell Bower. But anyway, Jamie Campbell from Horizon. That was a great role. A really great role. Most charismatic actor. A lot of nominees, not quite 7. So the most charismatic actor, as far as I'm concerned, for 2024 movies is Hugh Grant in Heretic. Who was the movie Stealer for 2024. Guess what? We're getting the second award for Jamie Campbell Bower. Yeah. That was quite a role. I don't know if people actually ended up seeing that movie. And I'm sad that they kind of made the decision to push back the second installment. But, Okay, this next category is kind of funny. Best Ralph Fiennes. Ralph Fiennes had 2 big roles this year, so this category is Best Ray Fiennes, and the winner is Odysseus from The Return. Okay, give me a second. Now this is a completely silly category. Lifetime Achievement Award. Lifetime Achievement Award this year is going to Hugh Jackman's breastises. You saw Deadpool, Wolverine, Poverty. We've seen him with no shirt on forever and ever and ever. Sometimes more than no shirt, but Lifetime Achievement Award definitely deserved here for Hugh Jackman's boobies. Best stunt by an actor. Now, I didn't give categories because there's only one person winning this. Okay, so I've watched plenty of behind the scenes, so have you. We've seen stuntmen, we've seen people in harnesses, we've seen them on that harness thing that goes around and oh my god, the stuntman can take it, oh my god. Best stunt by an actor in 2024 is Cynthia Erivo for Wicked. This woman sang live in one of those stinking harnesses to fly. She was flying in a harness, in a corset, and singing. Live. Has there ever been a bigger stunt? I don't know. Okay. Best dad ever. No contest. M. Night Shyamalan. I mean, if you didn't see... I mean, I love Trap. I really love Trap. But if you didn't see it, maybe you don't know what I'm talking about. Best dad ever. And I'm talking about, because in the role he plays her uncle. But I'm saying best dad ever is because he made this movie with his daughter and he gave her this showcase, which she's very talented. But come on, whose dad has ever done that? Nobody's dad. Best dad ever. Okay, best cinematography. I'm going with Challengers. Challengers. Now, you say, oh, but it's not big and sweeping. But the camera, I mean, you could call it camera work. It's not just camera work. I mean, that some of those shots and some of the stuff going on in that movie, if you really pay attention, and that's half the director, and that's why I'm saying it was very close for direction with Wicked, but yeah, watch Challengers again. Okay, art set design, I made it the same category because how do I know what's the difference? Wicked, I'm going with Wicked because it's just too easy. What comes after that? Costume design, Wicked. There were some good costumes that I forgot to nominate, to tell you the truth. And I was really debating between Wicked and Joker Folie because I really like, I mean, all I could see is like Joaquin in that white suit. But, yeah, I didn't feel like it was really that kind of year. And again, the volume on Wicked, in terms of volume, not volume, but volume. Hair and makeup, I went with Dune too. I don't know, I'm probably not thinking of something. They do so much with CGI nowadays and everything, but hair and makeup, yeah, I went with Dune too. Best scene. Now, I described some scenes. For me, I'm going with what I call The Joker Is Me, because that's the song. If you watch the film, it's, I mean, I love it. I love it. I love it. That is my favorite scene of the year. It pretty much starts in silhouette. And it's very jazzy. It leads into, it is kind of, Gonna Build a Mountain is almost the second half of that, and I love that. But The Joker Is Me, ending with the, you know, that's perfect. Perfect. Okay, let's see. Hang on. For best song, again, this is songs that don't come from elsewhere. I'm going for No One Mourns the Wicked. I really like the way that's done. I swear she's saying I do on that whistle note. But I could be wrong. But yeah. TV just went blue for no reason. I had a DVD in there. Best score, I'm going with Challengers. I think that's Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, right? Okay. I think that's most of my... Is that all of them? I think that's most of my single. Awards. There could be more. I'll have to check. I'll be right back. Okay, so I did have some more single winners. Best use of pre-existing music. Oh, my throat's starting to go. Joker Folie, Deux. I mean, there were a lot of good ones, but they kind of constructed the story out of the song. Let me see. Best story, I went with Anora. Like I said, I don't know screenplay from whatever, like adapted or original or any of that stuff, but I went with Anora. Best choreography, Wicked, obviously, because again, the weighted score, because there's so much. What else do I have? Killing it at the movies. You know, it's both horror and musical, so it's a tie. I should have just not had that category. I'll Do It My Damn Self Award, again, a tie. Kevin Costner and Francis Ford Coppola, because they put their own money in their project. Let's see. Never Had a Chance. Madam Web. It wasn't even bad. It wasn't even bad, but there's these movies, these superhero movies are fighting up against fans who have been done wrong. So the movies often just don't have a chance. Let's see what else I have here. And was it as bad? I forgot how I said the category. Something like wasn't as bad as it could have been or should have been. Red One wasn't that bad. It really wasn't. It looked like it was going to be horrible. It wasn't that bad. What else? I think that's it for the single ones, and I can move on to the ones that have multiple categories. How should I do this? Let's see. Let's do Best Ensemble. Best Ensemble. Bronze winner, third place for Best Ensemble is Conclave. Second place, silver, is Anora. First place is Wicked for Best Ensemble. There are gold medalists. Wicked. It's a huge ensemble. But also, there was so much great. I mean, you have Ariana and Cynthia. You have Jeff Goldblum. You have all the little cameos. Jonathan Bailey was great. You know what I'm saying? Everybody did a really good job. Best Supporting Actor. My bronze medalist is Yura Borisov from Anora. He was fun. He played Igor. If you haven't seen Anora, it's really, really good. Anora and Challengers are the kind of movies that it's hard for me to pick them first because I like the big epic movies. I'm an epic type person in terms of what I like. You know, cast of thousands, you know. So for me to like Anora or something like that, it's a big deal, and they did a great job. There's been some criticism. I don't understand it. Again, I'm Gen X. Maybe I'm different in how, you know, that's driving me a little bit crazy. The glare. But then that's going to make noise, maybe? I don't know. So now it's blue. So, yeah. Bronze medalist is Yura Borisov. Silver medalist, Lashana Lynch for Bob Marley, One Love. I still think it's my favorite movie of 2024, but it's not as epic, it's not as sweeping, but I still love this movie, and she did an amazing job. This movie came out in like February or something, so you know they weren't looking at it for this kind of stuff, but she did a great job. And for Best Supporting Actor, my gold medalist is Austin Butler. I didn't like this kid. I still don't know if I like him, but I did not want to see the Elvis movie. I forgot, what was he in that I saw him in before? I don't know, I just didn't like him. But then in Dune 2, I was like, nah, man, he's really good. And remember, I love Dune. I love the original Dune. I love Sting. I still like Sting's fade better, but this fade was really freaking good. And the thing of it is that you leave the theater going, man, they shouldn't have killed him so fast. There needed to be more fade. And he just did a really good job. So, yeah. So that was Supporting Actor. Lead Actor category. My bronze medalist, I have a tie for bronze in my lead actor category. Kingsley Ben-Adir from my favorite movie, Marley One Love. I thought he did an amazing job. And it's just not about pretending to be somebody. It's the acting, the whole thing, going through all that stuff, and you know, the feeling isolated, even though you're not famous, and just feeling different, you know, and really communicating that, you know what I'm saying? It was great. Josh Hartnett is my other bronze medalist in Trap. Look, I love the way he acted, and he acted every single minute. He did not stop acting from beginning to end, which I'm going to say is the same for our gold medalist, but it was just every moment, you know, and that it was just a serial killer role, you know what I mean? He still did a really great job. Yeah. So my silver medalist for lead actor is Joaquin Phoenix. Now, Joaquin actually improved upon Joaquin and Joker Folie improved upon Joker, which he won the Oscar for. But because it's not a new role, I'm putting him second. You know, because, you know what I'm saying? But it's still that great. Because like I said, he outdid himself from last time. Because there was more to do. I mean, I know people hate musicals. People this, people that. Maybe one day, if people ever get some sense again, they'll see how amazing the movie is and the performance. My best lead actor, my gold medalist for 2024 movies. And again, not going to happen at any award show because they've got her in supporting. But my best lead actor of 2024 is Ariana Grande for Wicked. Yes, I said that. Ask me what the title of one of her songs is. I don't know. Like, she's cute, she's little. I was like, oh, she's like a perfect little dolly. You know, I used to think that about her. You know, for all the little girls that liked her and any of the boys that liked her. You know what I mean? And she's obviously very talented and all this stuff. And I knew she was kind of funny. Like I said, from seeing her on, you know, Fallon or whatever, doing impressions. But this was an amazing comedic performance on top of the singing. Like I said, from beginning to end, she never stopped. When you go and you watch the film, and she's, it's the very beginning, and she's in the bubble, and she's ready to leave, and I'm gonna go, and then they're asking her, but they have questions, and she has to pop her bubble. She's like, what? From that, what? To the whole rest of the movie. She never stops. It's like, she's guileless, but honest, but kind of delusional, but also, I mean, it's such a character. This character has layers. It's not just a bubbly blonde, silly bimbo girl who doesn't know anything or who's spoiled. That's not what it is. And like I said, when it goes pink, forget it. When the whole thing goes pink, that is like I said, she was like 3D all by herself, coming out of the screen. You have to already be top tier talented in order to kick it up that one extra step that she could pull off here. And it's an amazing, amazing performance from every little LOL to everything. I mean, I've seen it like 11, 12 times or something. It's just perfect. It's perfect. And I wish this girl all the best, because, I mean, yeah, her career's set. And I mean, if she just decided to go off and have a bunch of kids and never acted again, she's got the iconic role. She's gonna live forever and ever and ever. She already was because of her, you know, music stuff. But now the blues drive me crazy. What in the world? Anyway, yeah. So, what did I have else? I had another category. Oh, scary good. This is one of my... I had a frivolous category because there were so many good horror movies, and I'm not, generally speaking, a horror movie person. Can I tilt my glasses? I mean, what can I do here? No. I'm generally speaking not a horror movie person, but it got dark. It's like it's not even 3:30. It's almost 3:30, and it's dark. I don't understand life. But yeah, so horror was so great that I had this massive category of all these good horror movies. And I'm now going to give you my 3 medalists. Okay, so the bronze medalist for best horror movie, scary good movie of 2024 is Oddity, which was a little bit, that was the creepier one. Do you hear that echo? Ooh. Yeah, so Oddity, I don't even remember those people's, I don't know if I ever knew those people's names, but that was really good. My silver medalist is Strange Darling, which was surprising. That was a surprise movie. I thought it was really well done. I think it was low budget. I'm not 100% sure. That it was, there was the announcement of, did they announce? 35mm? What was it? Did they announce? It was like, don't do that. That's embarrassing. But, it wasn't 70mm because I wouldn't have seen it if it was, right? Anyway, point is, yeah, but it was good. It was good. More than I expected. I didn't know what it was. I heard that it was supposed to be good. I had an extra slot in my A-list, AMC A-list, so I went and I was like, hey, that is good. So this one, I don't know who would agree with me, but to me, the best horror movie that I saw in 2024, and I would normally not have this category, I can't believe someone just beat, is In a Violent Nature. Because I actually got scared, and I don't get scared. I got atmospherically scared. The woods are always scary. But there was a thing like, I didn't know, okay, I'm still not safe, I'm still not safe, I'm still not safe. You know? And I want to call it misdirection, but I mean, it wasn't smudgeless by any shape of the imagination, but I liked the idea behind it. I think they did something so unwoke in a time full of wokeness that I applaud it. I like the whole, I'm not one for gory, so it's not like, ooh, I like that kill. I'm not that person. But, yeah, I thought it was really good. So, yeah, In a Violent Nature. I have no idea who directed these movies. This is what I'm saying. It's a horror movie, so yeah, whatever. Oh, okay. Theater experience. Now, this is interesting because I have a tie for gold, but you'll see why. Okay, so theater experience, the bronze medalist is Dune 2. It was very much, you have to see this in the theater, and there were a few of those. The screen finally went black. It's the remote's over there, and I didn't want to get it. So, yeah, Dune 2, because it was, this is what I'm saying, it was so elevated from the first Denis Villeneuve Dune. And let me just say this real quick, because we did talk about David Lynch. Don't get it twisted. These movies are very much Denis Villeneuve's version of David Lynch's Dune. Because I never read Dune. I tried. I'm not a reader. But I've seen other versions of Dune, and other versions of Dune were very different from David Lynch's Dune. This is Denis Villeneuve's version of David Lynch's Dune. Or Alan Smithy's Dune. However you want to say it. But yeah. But this time the theater experience, the sound and everything, it was really, really well done. Our silver medalist for theater experience, Deadpool and Wolverine. Now look, total fan service. Total fan service. If you've been paying attention at all for a little while, I don't know. But if you're my age and you've been paying attention that long, and I'm not even a comic book fan, but there was so much, I'm sitting in that theater going, how do people who aren't me or aren't my age or weren't on Ain't It Cool News, or weren't on the internet, 20 years ago, how are they going to understand all these references? How are they going to know why Gambit is so funny? Because 20 years ago, or thereabouts, people were always trying to cast a Gambit movie that never happened. That's why some of his jokes are so funny. And I'm like, who gets this? And then, I'm telling you, that that song, I don't even know the title. I hope you've had the time of your life. My throat's scratchy enough that it sounded like that. That almost killed me. And I don't even like these people that much. You know what I mean? I'm all like, But yeah, it was great. To this day, like, I watch reaction videos. I love watching reaction videos. To this day, people do not recognize Henry Cavill. It kills me. It kills me because I'm like, well, maybe the studios knew something. Because I thought he was this huge star. From the people I read on Twitter and all the other fanboys that I've heard of, everybody loves the man. So I could not understand why he had such an issue with Superman and The Witcher, and people seeming to not want to hire the guy. But then, honestly, all these people sat there and did not I saw that movie like 4 times. A lot of people did not recognize him. That being said, a lot of people did not know what was going on with the flame on stuff either. But people did not recognize him, and I'll never understand that. But I did, and I thought that was fucking perfect. I thought a lot of it was perfect. I am not a fan of Ryan Reynolds, not by any stretch of the imagination. I don't even like Deadpool. I obviously like Wolverine. Everybody likes Wolverine. When they come out and they're walking out, and the hero shots, Hugh Jackman excels at the hero shot. He excels. Why he's a great showman, even if I don't think he's a great singer, is because he's good at the way he carries himself. He's a good dancer. He knows how to deal with his body. Okay? When he comes out of the car and it's like, I don't know, the camera's like this and he's out of, and it's like, that looks perfect. When him and Ryan Reynolds are, life is a, when that starts, that looks perfect. You know what I mean? Even when he does the Wolverine thing, jumping out of the, was that a bus? Is that a bus? It's all perfect, So, but yeah, it was the best fan servicey movie probably ever. But yeah, it was a great time at the theater. And the fact that I sat one time I went to Boston, and I was sitting amongst college kids from Boston, and they had explaining to their friends some stuff, and I'm like, dudes, guys who were supposed to be fanboys, and I was like, oh. But for those of us who were long in the tooth, who know enough, it was pretty good. Okay, so I think I've done all my categories. So I can head to best film. Am I right? Did I say everything? I believe I have. So, my third place bronze medalist for best film of 2024 is Joker Folie. I love this movie. I think it's a masterpiece. I'm saying a masterpiece is my bronze medalist. I think Todd Phillips did an amazing job. I love that film. I love it, love it, love it. I've watched it at home. I love it just as much as I loved it in the theater all the times I saw it. This was a great year for sitting in the theater and feeling like you were watching a musical. Like, so many, watching a concert or a musical, because Bob Marley One Love was like, that was like watching a concert. And there was a point where, I mean, I really felt like I was not even watching a screen. There was a point in Bob Marley One Love where it felt like I was in an actual theater and they were right there. Yeah. So, but yeah, so it was, the sound probably was also killing it at the movies this year, except there was one movie the sound was off. What was it? I forget. But yeah, but I thought it was perfect. The only reason it's third, it could have been first. Eventually, when I went back after having read on the internet, I did not notice at the very, very end, after, spoilers, after he is extinguished, that the guy who did it did make the link. I did not like that. I didn't see it at first on my own. I had to have it explained to me by the internet. So I'm not a fan of that. But everything else, as far as I'm concerned, was perfect. Joaquin's performance was perfect. Lady Gaga was fantastic. Everything was great. Those musical numbers were to die for. I love the film. I love it, love it, love it. And our silver medalist is Wicked. Hey, you know what I didn't do? Roll back, roll back. I forgot to do my gold medalist for theater experience, which is Wicked Sing Along and Wicked tied. Because Wicked, watching everybody see Wicked, oh my god, I can't believe I messed that up. Watching everybody see Wicked, the first time I knew everybody was going to clap, I recorded it. I put it on the internet. I knew I was going to clap. I felt the clap coming. People don't clap where I live. And then after seeing it the first time and then watching other people and waiting, is there going to be a clap? For like 2 weeks there were claps. Then when I went to the sing-along, I was just starting to get this cold, which I still have on Christmas. It was Christmas Day. It's almost a month of me having this cold. I was just starting to get it. The next day, I couldn't talk or anything. I've been a nightmare mess since. But I made it through and I was so glad. I can't sing. But did I sing loud? You bet your ass. And I'm sure I ruined it for everybody else. I don't care. There should have been, from Christmas Day on, there should have been sing-alongs in every showing across the country, in the world. Not just, Christmas Day sing-alongs. There should have been sing-alongs. Like, once you went that late, it should have been your fault if you don't want to hear everybody else in the crowd. That's how I feel. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to sing because I've been, coughing up yuckies for 3 weeks now, but yeah, it should have been. It was fantastic. So the combination of Wicked and the sing-along was the winner there. But Wicked is my silver medalist in Best Film. You're going, why isn't it gold? Well, I'll tell you why. I don't know. But it's so amazing. John Chu did amazing. I did not get to see In the Heights in the theater. I have watched that movie so many times. I love it. I thought, wow, this guy's great. John M. Chu. I don't want to say the M. I don't know what's wrong with me. But, yeah, just watching it, you're like, this is complicated. How did they do all this? And I'm not a film director, but I've watched enough movies to know this is like really something. And then I heard that Steven Spielberg, who is something of a mentor of the kid or something, told him the same thing. And George Lucas called him and said, hey, I know how difficult that is. Good job. So, you know what I mean? These are people who do the epics, who do the special effects, who do the cast 1,000 movies that we've had for the last 20 years. So, and to cast the perfect team of Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande, to have it be everything was perfect. What are those people, when they're doing the sum up, and before or after, around the time when again spoilers, Kristen Chenoweth and Idina Menzel come, there's those people and they're like, their costumes kind of look like creamsicles. What are they? I want to know what that's about, because I have no idea. But also, like, even that guy sang great. I guess he was in one Wicked on Broadway or something. I just had something else in my head. Damn it, it went. But, oh my god. It took me till viewing 10. And I'm not even kidding. I almost laughed out loud because I'm so stupid. Spoilers. It took me till viewing 10 to realize that the wizard, when he was supposed to be so amazing, being able to read the grimoire, which the grimoire is a real book. And when she does that spell, I'm like, is she doing a real spell? The first time I saw it, I was like, I've heard of the grimoire. Wait a minute. Hold on. But anyway, so, when he's supposed to be reading out of the grimoire in that little sum up portion, he's going, Omaha. Omaha. I'm like, he's saying Omaha. Like in Nebraska. And then it was like, when Tom Brady or whatever quarterback yells Omaha, I was like, he's just saying Omaha. And they thought he was reading out of the... These people were dumb. So it took me till... I'm dumb too, because it took me till time 10 to realize he was just saying Omaha. And the other stuff that's being foreshadowed, that, like I said, maybe little kids don't pick up on, maybe they do, maybe people don't. I mean, I know Jeff Goldblum like the back of my hand. Loved the guy since the 80s. There's no way I'm not knowing when it's his voice, but I thought they did it well because it is sort of hidden, you know. But yeah, everything was amazing. The costumes, like Michelle Yeoh, the greatest singer, but her costumes were fantastic. She looked amazing. Even like, I swear, am I the only person who notices these things? I've seen it, like I said, 11 times at least. It's 11 or 12. Only once did anybody else laugh at "It's not the milk flower's fault." Secondly, I cannot be the only person who says it's tomorrow when you've stayed up all night and the sun comes out. I've said that. The sun comes up like daybreak. Oh, it's tomorrow. I've said that. But yeah, it's just... And the way it ends, because In the Heights had a fantastic ending too, and endings are hard, but they end, boom. And this one, Timpani, ended, boom, 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 boom. And I was like, ooh, the first time, because I'm like, I can't believe he's doing this. Like, you know, that whole, like, the way it just, it was great. It was great. Yeah. So, that's our silver medalist. Best film. Best film that I am saying, and I said it when I saw it, and I'm not taking it back. Even though weighted average, I don't know which is more complicated. But I really sat and I thought about it, and I'm like, no, you know, I'm still going to go with Challengers. Because I saw it and I said, this is winning best film. I walked out of the theater going, this is winning best film. And I don't know how it's doing in terms of Oscar buzz or whatever, but there's like somebody going by with a motorcycle. I don't know if you can hear that. It really, it's perfect because there's this little story of these kids getting up to business and people, like, I'm not competitive. I don't get that. I'm not like them. I'm not like her for sure. But that whole frenemy, like I said, it was love all at the end, but that whole frenemy thing and all these years of going through this with each other, and how the momentum of their competitive lives, like their lives as competitive people in life, was going with the ebbs and flows of a tennis match, and who was leading and who was winning which set, as if life had sets, meaning scores like a game set match. And like I said, as a tennis fan, I understood immediately what I was looking at. I heard that the director is not a tennis fan. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. There is no way that you make that movie and you're not a tennis fan, because you have to have watched a lot of freaking tennis to understand how, I mean, I don't know, there's been other tennis movies, and I was thinking about, you know, rewatching Match Point, but I remember it pretty good. But this was, no, this, you have, if you don't, I don't know if you don't understand tennis, how much you go, like, in that last point, you can't win the point if you come over the net. I'm just saying, but at that point it doesn't matter. That's kind of the thing, like at the end of Inception, when you're like, is it real or not? It doesn't matter at that point. So and at the end of Challengers, it doesn't matter who wins that point. You understand what I'm saying? It's complicated, messy people's messy business. And I don't think I'm messy like that. I stay to myself because I don't want to be involved in messy business like that. That's not my way of being. I don't enjoy the dramas. You know, I'm just a straight shooter. I don't play games, you know. So, but it's a fantastic film, and I think they all did a great job. And the soundtrack, like I said, that was not a musical. I was sitting in my seat, like, watching the movie. Boom, boom. You know what I mean? And it's a drama, and I'm watching it, and, like, when match points come, and I'm sitting there, like, dun, dun, you know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. So, yeah. I think I did all my categories. If I skipped something, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm an old lady. My brain really doesn't work. I think I did everything. Yeah. It was a pretty good time, but like I said, when in the grand scheme of things, you lose somebody like David Lynch, you're like, wait a minute. We're all kind of, it's all a pretenders to the throne thing as these guys go, and I've been worried about them going. And I still don't, I'm not really understanding. Like, it's not really settling with me, and it's not going to settle with me that David Lynch died, because like I said, he was with us. He was in it. He was on the internets, and it was just a sudden, this fire. The fire took him. And I hate to think it was fire. You know? But it was. And I kind of, my brain is trying to do the speech, you know? But, and there goes my stomach again, if you can hear that. But, yeah. I've adapted to this form of being a movie fan, but it's not, you don't get that, you don't get what you felt when you watched Mulholland Drive. You don't get, I mean, the classics are still the classics, and the classics tend to be old. If you look at the last 20 years of Oscar winners, I don't like most of them. I don't like most of the Oscar winners for best film, best picture, however you want to say it. I've enjoyed a lot of movies, and there's like the big, you know, but in the end, it's like, but is it? They're not. We've adjusted the definition of words like great to mean great for now, great for what's out there now, you know. But in reality, I give a lot of 9s and 10s and 8s. I probably should be more subjective, and a lot of my 10s should probably be 7s. You know, but it's just like, compared to what's out there, compared to everything else, you know. But compared to what we used to see, I guess you can't get it anymore, because it's all about, everything's about making money. The whole world is just money centered, and it's sort of impossible to do anything else but think about money, because we're all hanging on the edge. And you know, you had a lot of people now who were directors who came up some other way. Like, they weren't artists, they didn't go to art school, they didn't go to film school. They were something else, and they just got good at management or something, so they got promoted. But yeah, but there are those people out there who, but they're not the old guys. They're not fighting with the studios to get their thing made, arguing over, you know, having their, what do you call it, having their movie ruined by the studio who's trying to cut it for this and cut it for that. That doesn't happen anymore. It's all a deal, and the people who make the movies are the ones who will get along with the studio and will do the studio's bidding. So there's not a lot of artistic vision out there. And if you still have it, Netflix passes on you, you know, or you have to do it yourself. You have to, if you have that kind of money, if you have wine money, you know what I mean? And my throat's going. So, yeah. I kind of want this to be my last video. I doubt it will be, because I always gotta open my mouth. But, life is catching up to me in a horrible way, and I am not, I'm so out of it. I'm like living in something of a dream nightmare now. And I didn't used to have bad dreams. I do now a lot of the time, but I'm just like floating, and I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know what's going to happen to me, but it's a sad, scary world. And I don't know what's going to be like without David Lynch. Kind of don't want that eventuality, but it's happened, so what do we do? What about when the other guys go? I've already thought about it. I would like to go first. Hello? I'd like to go before anything else bad happens. But anyway.